Hi everyone, I'm filming this a bit wide angle so you can actually see that I've got this green screen here. It's something that has come up a lot since the pandemic started, and the reason why is many people have been using Zoom, they use virtual backgrounds, and they've seen an option for green screen and they want to know what that is. But green screens have been used for many years in film and video production. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. So the advantage of the green screen, and this is particularly big one for a portable one, you can get smaller and you can get just a green cloth. It's got to be a right type of green, and you can also get pull-up sort of banners as well that you can have as your background. And I've got links to those below so you can actually go and see if any of these are appropriate for you. But if you're using a virtual background, the thing that it does is it stops that kind of people fading into the background. If you've used Zoom or seen people using Zoom, they may have used a virtual background and you might see that part of their head is sort of cropped off, or when they move their hands around it disappears, or maybe even if they just pick something up to show like a phone, which I don't actually have in my hand, it can disappear. With the green screen option, all of that goes away. And green, it's green for a reason, and that is because green is not something in our skin tone, and if it is, you probably need to see a doctor. And we tend not to wear this type of green as a colour with things like our clothing. So it works really well. You want a colour that is different to everything you're trying to remove, so you can kind of superimpose things over the top of it. You may have seen blue used to get used, or still does get used a lot, but people do wear clothing that is blue and that can be a problem. But it doesn't mean that it shouldn't get used either. Having said that, this green, the reason they use it is to superimpose the presenter or actor wherever they want. And you will have seen this when they do weather forecasts or in newsrooms and things. The surroundings tend not to be real. They tend to be in front of the screen, and then they just have, say, a weather map superimposed there and they can just refer to it. How do they know where to look? Well, at the side they've got monitors so they can see what it looks like superimposed. And it's one of the tips, if you do use a green screen, not to be precise at pointing at specific areas. If you watch newscasters and weather forecasters, they tend to do this, like a roughly where it is to draw your attention to it, but trying not to be too precise as they do it. So why has it become really useful during the pandemic, aside from using it on Zoom? Well, if I need to film someone and we want to be socially distanced, it might not be appropriate to actually be somewhere such as laboratory or somewhere reasonably busy. And filmmaking can be tricky in these times when you're being socially distanced. So what you can do is you can have a shot of where they want, filmed either before or after, say like in a laboratory, and you might film it with nobody around, and then you can film the presenter at a distance, and you can then superimpose them into the shot and make it look really realistic. It can also be used, which is excellent for teaching or for any other kind of demonstrations where you've got something you want to refer to in the background. So if you were teaching something, maybe it's science, and you could be pointing to various parts of maybe a cell or something like that. So it brings it all to life. It helps because we don't have to be in an environment that might not be safe, and it allows us to be wherever we want. So if you are thinking about doing this, it's actually quite easy to do. There are some tricks to it. One, keep your distance from it so you don't want to be too close. If I get too close, you then get shadows over it, and the shadows is what makes the green screen not work very well. You also, so just stepping away from it to remove that. Nice even lighting helps as well, and you might think that people have got lots and lots of lighting to do that. You don't have to. You can see it's working quite well. Here I've just got the room lights and one video light, and it's working. How will I then do this? Well, various different bits of software this works on. There are many, but just to name a few, iMovie, which you can use on your Mac and it comes for free. And I've got a video coming very soon to show you how to do this. In fact, it may already be out there by the time you see this. You also could use Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, and there is also Camtasia as well. And there are others as well, but those are very popular ones that allow you to easily remove this green in the background. Now, if I was filming this, I've only gone wide angle so you can see everything here. But the truth is you'd want to be zoomed in so you don't actually see everything around. When choosing a green screen, as I mentioned before, this is a particularly big one because you have to think about what would happen if someone stretched their arms out like this. Is it going outside of where the green is? And then that wouldn't work. So if you've got someone who waves their arms around, or maybe you've got two people in the shot, you might need to think about a bigger screen. If you want to do this all the time and you've got a dedicated room for doing it, you can actually get dedicated green screen paint. It's called Chroma Green, and you can look that up, and if I find a link for it, I'll put the link below for that as well. So that's how you do it. Do look out for my videos on how you can edit using the green screen as well. These things can be a little bit more time consuming, but once I've got it all set up, it's really easy to do. And as I said, this is quite portable, so I take this with me for where I need it. Hope that helps with coming up with some new ideas, or if you do hear people talking about green screen. Thanks for watching. If you do like this, please do like, share and subscribe, and stay safe.